threat. Christian Whiten joins us now. He is a former State Department senior advisor and author of Smart Power: Between Diplomacy and War. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula especially has been fond of trying this approach, and in fact they succeeded. I mean, they did get Abdul Muttalib on that flight into Detroit with the underwear bomb. It's just that the bomb didn't go off. How concerned are you that they've developed this new type of undetectable explosive?
Well, this has been a long time coming, and it's been speculated a lot about the idea that you could surgically implant a bomb, plastic explosive, something like that, inside someone's body, and it wouldn't be detected by a magnetometer or even the other more sophisticated imaging systems we have at airports, which really just look at the outside of your skin and don't, in fact, penetrate your skin. So it's a real concern, especially coming at a time during the Syrian civil war, which has now spilled over into Iraq, where you have a growing number of jihadists with Western passports who can actually board flights bound for the U.S. with more ease than, say, more seasoned elements of AQAP, people from Yemen, etc., who aren't Western nationals.
That's just because their passports don't get the same kind of scrutiny?
I think so, yes. And if you look at, there are even, in fact, Americans who've gone and fought in Syria. They may not have known or intended initially that they were fighting with al-Qaeda, although some of them apparently have. A number of these people have been charged. But this is also a problem you're seeing in the German press, the French press, and the British press, that you have a number of people who, in fact, are Western, are of European descent, who nonetheless are fighting with other Middle Easterners.
The suggestion, I mean, the Saudis almost lost their defense minister a couple of years back to somebody who was carrying a bomb inside their body. It wouldn't be out of the question, I guess, for somebody to do something similar and actually be able to bring down a plane bound for the United States.
That's right, and it speaks to the reason that in the U.S., as in many military and security applications also at airports, we have such a reliance on technical means of detecting bombs, explosives, weapons, things like that. Again, magnetometers and imaging systems, X-rays for baggage. We may, in fact, the West may need to take a closer look at what the Israelis rely on, which is a combination of those technical means, but also in making a subjective assessment, talking to every passenger, not with obvious predictable questions, because even someone who is a trained killer, who's a hardened terrorist, if you have a bomb, a ticking bomb inside your body, you're going to behave differently, and we just may need to have more people who are able to train that. Also, frankly, need to look at people's travel habits, and this does raise the question. I mean, there's been a big debate about NSA surveillance and Guantanamo and enhanced interrogation, but of course, if you don't want to be in a purely defensive posture and don't want to rely solely on hassling travelers, we want to detect these people before they get close.
Also worth remembering that, they hate us in large part for our freedoms, and if we want the freedom to travel around the world, when these things happen, we just have to soldier on, not give in to the threat of terrorism. That's what it's all about, scaring people.
That's right, I think, and you mentioned the underwear bomber, the gentleman who tried to take down a Northwest airliner over Detroit, who had a bomb on his body. It was actually alert passengers who noticed him acting strangely and who took it on themselves to defend themselves. One other point here, that we used to have a view, and I think many in this country do, that we should be on the offense against terrorism. Our previous President Bush was criticized for saying we should fight him over there so we don't have to fight him over here. But I think it does bear, taking a look at whether, when terrorists aren't on the defensive, if they don't turn to the offensive against us. And if you look at the terrorist entity coming together in Iraq, they really have sent out a clarion call that they're going to wage global jihad. They're going to push aside al-Qaeda. They're going to focus on this much more so than, frankly, the Taliban did in Afghanistan. So, it might be time with these new threats to look at going back on the offensive against terrorists.
Good point. Christian Whiten. Thank you, Christian.